Well then, good afternoon everyone to this, the penultimate round of the BTCC Blueprints with STDash Designs Season 13, coming to you live at Sardegna B. We're going to be having just a short field lobby here. I think 11 in all of them that are going to be racing here tonight. As Ash is in the chat there saying evening everyone there. He's of course not racing because he's been replaced by this guy. We have seen him before, original John, otherwise known as John Thompson, getting turn 2 completely wrong. We did see him make another mistake on the backstretch after turn 6. So yeah, Thompson trying to get back into the swing of things and how, you know, the BTCC works. Meanwhile, we will be talking about the current championship points then, coming into the penultimate round, and McEwen leads the way by a healthy gap. 182 points he has. Adam Piper sits in second, tied with Chris Clements, both on 147, but Piper's got 2 wins to Clements' 1. You got Xavier McIntosh on 133, Rob Showler on 125, and Ethan Graham on 123. So it's quite competitively close between Piper and Clements down to Ethan Graham. So Graham gets a good run here, gets good performances in this track. Then he could prop up the table. Ash Sharp, who's not racing tonight, he's on 99. He's been replaced by, like I said, John Thompson, who's in the pits. Lewis Edwards, who is not going to be taking part now because he's more interested wanking off of his mates in McDonald's. So he is out of the championship, and he is just pretty much like Liverpool, a bad champion, and not really defended his championship or wanted to go for a third title, which is quite a shame. Connor Hedden is back with us. He's there. You can see Conrad Racer 96. He's back with us after missing a week. He is on 79. Leon Walsh is also not well. He's not going to be racing, so he's going to be replaced by this guy who we saw last week, Rob Adams. So he drove the Mazda, the Proton Mazda, in last week at Dragon Trail. He's now driving the big chunky Scirocco. So he makes his way in towards turn 1. He goes chasing behind Graham. Luke Mitchell sits on 65. Josh Inman, who is also unfortunately had to pull out of the championship, he sits on 63. Reason being is because he's been tied up with uni work. So, you know, obviously that's you know, it's quite plausible. Now there's a new guy there, Ollie Polly. Oh, Rob has just lost it there at turn 4. Sorry, that's turn 5, my apologies. Yeah, Richie Bassi on 57, who isn't racing. So I'm Richie Bassi and his teammate Luke Clifford, who also isn't racing. He's going to be replaced by the guy that we just seen there, Ollie Ogven, I think is how you pronounce it there. Oh, Mitchell's very happy to see Ollie in this. First time we will see Ollie Ogven. I think I've pronounced it correctly. As Rob's just collecting his thoughts there, trying to get his bucket and spade and maybe make a sandcastle in there. There goes Clements, there goes Mitchell, and there goes Thompson. So we're going to get qualifying underway very, very shortly, about a minute to go. When it comes to the Teams Championship, it is very, very close, I have to say. MG Sport and Racing still lead the way on 281, VX Racing on 270, so they're 11 points adrift. Petronas Citroen Proton on 258, and Collard Racing on 226. Team Halfords on 163, Honda Racing on 128, and Synchro Motorsport on 90. So very close there between MG Sport and the Petronas team. There's only 23 points separating the top 3. Meanwhile, we do have Mitchell in the chat there. Yeah, Ash. The reason why Ash isn't racing is because it's his son's birthday. So, yeah. And also, my other commentator that's supposed to be with me again, Daxman, he's also not joining me in the booth because it's also his birthday. So, again, I'm all alone yet again. So, you hear my voice at the start of this, and then once come the end of the race, it'll be absolutely gone. But don't worry, I have some Halls originals, hopefully that will clear my throat after like each and every race or something like that. To the tyre compound, So McEwen has got mediums in race 2 and race 3. Thompson, who's replacing Sharp, he's got to use mediums either in race 1 or 3. Adams, replacing Leon, has got 2 sets of mediums in race 1. Edwards is not competing in the championship, so he's going to be replaced by someone. I heard it could be Alex Austin. We don't know yet. Making his return. Piper's got 2 sets of mediums in race 1. Graham has got mediums in 1 and 3. Clements has got mediums in races 2 and 3. Connor Heron has got a mediums in race 1 and a medium in race 3. If Mitchell, if you're watching this, you have got mediums in race 2 and 3. Yeah, so you got a mediums in race 2 and a mediums in race 3. Richie Massey, who's not racing, he's got 2 mediums too. Luke Clifford, well, he's going to be replaced by Ogden. Oh, there he is. He's Norwegian. Nice. There he is. Making his debut in the championship. He's got 2 sets of mediums in race 3. Shaul has got a medium in race 1 and 2. And McIntosh has got a mediums in races 2 and 3. Oh, and Mitchell's just said thank you in the chat there, so there you go. To be fair, you did actually have 3 sets of mediums. You did have 2 sets in race 3, but I took one away. So there you go. Because I have the power, because it was my idea. Also, another thing to mention too, and I think this is actually quite a good thing from my perspective, probably not for the others, is this championship is going to get moved. It's going to get moved to a Wednesday. And I think the GT3 Championship, which was raced on Wednesdays, that's going to be moved to a Friday. Now, the reason is because since we're getting back to normality, because for those who don't know, I'm quite fat, and you know, fat people likes to play darts in pubs, and that's what I do. And I think someone said at a moment there off the last corner, I think that might have been Thompson yet again. And I'm correct. So yeah, so they decided to move it to a Wednesday. To keep me happy, so I can still commentate on this brilliant championship, and you know, have Adams League, the GT3 Championship, done on a Fridays. So I don't have the dilemma of quitting this and you know, knowing the fact that they have to have another commentator for the for Friday for the BTCC, which will quite hurt me. So yeah, it's you know, a big thank you to the guys at FTR, at Ethan and Leon and that for actually changing it. I did actually put the idea when it was under the SBR name, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. But finally they've come out to their senses, and it's worked out brilliantly for me. So anyways, we've got qualifying underway. 11 people only out on track. We are missing quite a fair few. No Inman, no Massey, and no Edwards. So out the field they go then for the first qualifying session. Now, I just noticed in there that Rob should be on mediums in races 1, and I think he's just realised that. Yeah, so yeah, so Rob's got to go back into the pit lane and put on a set of mediums for race 1. Because that's what Leon's got left. He's got 2 sets of mediums in the first race. So Rob has to go back into the pits then and get that changed. I better type, actually. Hold on a minute. There we go. Hopefully that's made things a little bit better. Anyway, let's have a look then through the field then. So Clement is on the softs, which he has a set of mediums, like I said, in races 2 and 3. Thompson is going for the medium tyre, getting that out of the way. So that means Sharp will have race 3 come next week. Piper's using a set of mediums in race 1 because he's got 2 sets of mediums in the first race. What about Mitchell? He's on the super soft as well as McEwen. Schauler's also on the medium, so he's got a set of mediums left for race 2 come next week. And you've got Ethan Graham, who's also on a set of mediums, so he's going to have 1 mediums left, and he's going to use that in race 3. Meanwhile, there is Jokerman, Xavier McIntosh. And there is the new guy, Ollie. We'll see how he's doing there. Connor Heron, he's using a set of mediums in race 1, so that means he's got a set of mediums in race 3 come next week. And Adams is on a set of mediums now, so there we go. There we are. So then, let's have a look then at this track. We ain't talked about this Sardegna. Lots of elevation on this track, as you see here. One of the corners just there, turn 8. That is a corner to look out for. Now then, on towards the start-finish line. This is where the Renault and the Scirocco could actually pull out there. So out comes Clements, makes it 23.5 for Collard Motorsports there. Thompson goes 24.7. Piper goes 24.5. But then McEwen beats it by 3/10. Schauler's a second slower on those mediums for the Proton, the Petronas Centurion Proton Racing. Ollie goes 8th with a 25.4, so that's a good effort that from Ollie. Ollie Ogven, I hope I've said that name correctly. I'm sorry, I hope I haven't butchered it anyways. But Clements is on purple, making his way in towards 10.5, and then on to, you could see somewhat the backstretch there. Connor Heron goes 5th, his teammate 25.0. Xavier McIntosh goes 2nd there, just a 10th faster than Clements. But now towards turn 8, it's a really tricky corner. Could catch out a lot of people there. Now goes uphill there, so he's lost time in the second sector. Alright, there's turn 10. Now we're going into turn 11. There's only 13 corners around this track. And turn 12 could be a little bit tricky, because you feel it's a fast corner, but you've got to brake a little bit early. Get the rubbing perfectly. You don't want to be clipping too much curb there on turn 12 to get better speed off of turn 13. So let's see what Clements can do here with 37 seconds left to go. The guys that make it array around turn 10 and that possibly could do another lap or so. And as Clements goes 2nd, he's now just shy of 2/10 slower than McEwen's time. Piper puts his VX Racing car into 4th. Mitchell improves, but no, not in the top 8 unfortunately. But he'll go into 9th. Let's see what Adams can do. He's got like another lap or so in there, and he'll go 9th. 25.0 for the Team Halford's driver now. We did see him in the Petronas last week. He's driving a different car today. 0.1 seconds to go. And that is it there for someone who just came across the line. That is Connor Heron, and he improved, not by much though, but that will put him into 9th place. So qualifying is over. And, oh wow, look at that then. Posted it then for Xavier McIntosh. McIntosh 3 quicker than McEwen. So, McIntosh, who's sitting 4th in the championship, needs a good run here. Because he was up, but he was tied on points with McEwen before wanting to miss Dragon Trail because he was more interested in trying to get a wheel, which I don't know if he won. I don't think he'd ever told us anyways. Anyways, he's down there. There was Ollie just going a little bit off at turn 8. But so far, he's doing a fine job. You know, it's just... This is literally the first time he's done it there. Clements improves, goes 2nd now. So that will put the championship leader McEwen down to 3rd. And what can McEwen do? He makes his way towards there. Thompson shortcut in turn 13. Mitchell goes 4th. Solid effort there for Mitchell in the Honda. Now then, let's see what they could do. The checkered flag is flying there, and McEwen goes back into 2nd, puts Clements down to the 2nd row of the grid. But it looks like it's going to be a pull for Xavier McIntosh and that a championship point. So that will put him on 134 points. The qualifier has ended, and there's a bit of a spread there, you know. 2/10 separating the top 3, and then nearly a second from 1st to 4th. So anyways, we're getting ready then for race 13 of the championship, and this is how the starting grid will look like. McIntosh from McEwen, from Collard, from Clements, Mitchell, Piper, Schauler, Graham, Thompson, Ogven, Adams and Heron. That completes the lot. 12 laps around this circuit. You can just watch then from the lights who will get the jump. Will the VXR boys with their rear-wheel drive get off the line? Well, 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go for the first race there. And again, typical of the Renaults there, getting bogged down right off the start there. You watch Mitchell, he'll probably be going down into last, going into its turn 1. But anyways, Clements with the BMW for Collard Motorsports got into the lead from third on the grid. So as they make their way in towards turn 1, it is Clements from McEwen. McIntosh, not a good start. He's down to third. Then fourth is Piper. And then in fifth place is Ethan Graham, his Piper's teammate, as they're making their way now in towards turn 4. It looks like a second gear corner, and now McEwen has gone into the lead now. I didn't even notice that. I was looking more at my document on my screen. But anyway, so McEwen has now gone into the lead. Clements in second. McIntosh third, Piper fourth, Graham in fifth, Schauler sixth, Thompson seventh, and Ogden in eighth position. Field now all single file there, all 11 cars there, nice and tidy. Now into turn 8. Let's see if there's anyone that's going to be making a mistake then at turn 8. I think Mitchell may have run just a tad bit wide, and Adams gets into the side of Mitchell, pushes him off there, unfortunately. So Adams on those medium set of tyres there, being a little bit aggressive there, but Mitchell did run a little wide there off of turn 8. So that's a shame there for Mitchell from the good qualifying he had from 4th all the way down into last place. But we'll see the strength of the Renault come on the start-finish street. But anyways, meanwhile, it's going to be Slipstream City then down at the front stretch. It is McEwen from Clements, from McIntosh, from Piper, from Ethan Graham, who's now catching up to his teammate, riding on board then with Ethan, currently sitting in 5th position. And now you can see Clements and McIntosh, they're battling side by side there. McIntosh nearly putting 2 wheels on the gravel trap there on turn 2. Clements still having the inside then, going into turn 4. But he still holds on. Schauler in 6th, and now Ollie's now up into 7th place for the guy who's just came into this lobby. He's doing, I think, oh my goodness me, everything's happening further back here. And there's a look then at Ogden, they're 3 abreast, they're going into his turn 5. It's a banked right-hand corner there, and go on, Ollie. Maybe making his debut here, and he's mixing already with the big guys, and so far doing a good job. But meanwhile, Thompson's gone up into 6th position, so there was some chaos going on, because there was some movers and shakers, and this is what happened. Now, did Schauler get a little bit collected? He may have had a bit of help there from, was it either Thompson or was it actually from Ogden? I'm not too sure. But that's a shame there for Schauler, not what he wanted, considering he is 5th in the standings. Ogden has now gone into 6th position then, so the power of that McGann, he's now got up into P6. Meanwhile, Adams and Heron are side by side. That is for 8th and 9th. There's then Schauler recovering then. Let's ride on board then with Adams as he comes across the line there. Does the Scirocco have that speed? Now it's starting a bit. But when he tries to cover Heron, and he does just about. Meanwhile, further back there, Mitchell on the inside of Schauler. And Schauler just holds on there from Mitchell. Meanwhile, back up front there, I think there was also Connor Heron. This time he's found a way through, so Heron has gone up into P8 and puts Adams down to 9th. Meanwhile, I was just looking up at the front there. McEwen still leads, nearly a second advantage there he has over Clements. And he is 6 tenths ahead of McIntosh. Then you've got the 2 VXR boys running 4th and 5th. In fact, they've actually swapped positions now. Graham has gone ahead of Piper. And then you got this battle then for 6th place led by Ollie. And then you got Thompson in 7th, Heron in 8th. Then Adams, Schauler and Mitchell 9th, 10th and 11th. It's right on board then with Mitchell. Let's see how quick this Renault is on the straightaway around Sardegna B. Just making his way towards turn 12. Schauler having a different line through there. But you watch the power of that Renault on the straightaway. I thought it'd be a little bit closer to him, but I don't think it is. My bad. Rob trying to get 8th place back, then goes around the outside of Heron in towards turn 1. Tries to go for a crisscross maybe. No, he doesn't. Schauler is also there too after the incident with, I believe it must have been with Ollie back in lap 2. So he's trying to recover there. Now Adams goes to the inside, tries to maybe fake a move on Heron, doesn't do it. And now is Schauler going to make an opportunity at 5? No, he doesn't. And all this battling is allowing Mitchell to catch up here. Actually gets a good run off of that corner. And now let's see if he can make a move on Schauler. Down the backstretch now, which is anything but straight. He's having a look to the inside there. Schauler's not really protecting the 10th place, but he goes late on the brakes and holds on. Meanwhile, Ogven further ahead is at the moment at turn 8. He's off into the gravel. Oh, nearly cuts in front of this battle. And just slots in just in front of Schauler. So Ollie made a mistake at turn 8. Like I said, it was one of the corners to look out for. And look at the run Mitchell's getting then as he makes his way towards 12 and 13. Rob a little bit sideways there, clipping a bit of that sharp curve, if you will. And then onto the start-finish straight to start another lap and go on to lap 5. So it is still McEwen. And in fact, I've just noticed there a change for position as McIntosh is still on the outside of Clements. Clements is going to have the inside for turn 4 and just goes back onto the racing line. Although, trying to have it back. But Clements is just holding on. And even the more that they are battling, it's going to allow McEwen to pull away. Now, when it comes to the championship there, Clements and Piper are both tied on 147 points. Clements is sitting second, Piper in 5th. So it's a good outing so far for Clements, although he will still lose a bit more points though to the championship leader, McEwen. There were 35 points coming into this race, and here comes McIntosh to the inside. Late braking at turn 8, and he's through up into second place now. Although Clements is wanting it back, then around the outside, then going into his turn, that is turn 9. But no, position changed there. More positions being changed there, further back through the field there. Back again at turn 8 now, and it's Heron that's leading this battle now, with Adams, Ogven, Schauler and Mitchell. Let's ride on board again then with Mitchell, because he's got the best seat in the house, really, as we're going to be starting the halfway lap of this first race. Schauler really early on the brake there, and you can see that Adams really struggling on those medium tyres there. Didn't get a good exit there off turn 13. Now up against the pit wall goes Heron, and everyone's just going to follow suit. Oh, maybe a bit of a bump drive there for Mitchell. He's doing a bit of NASCAR style, which I've been told by Sharp now, but it is legal. You can bump draft anyone else now. I thought it was just a teammate thing. I wasn't told about that. Oh, Adams really late on the brakes there at turn 1, and he gets into Ogven. And in fact, I tell you what, Ogven gets a great drive off at turn 2, and he's gone by Heron like he wasn't even there. So Ogven, the new guy who's only just started practicing, like literally like 5 minutes before the stream started, he's up there in 7th position, and he's holding his own. So fair play there to Ollie. Now into his turn 5. Schauler's found a way by on Adams, but hopefully Adams will get a run on him down the back straightaway. And again, Schauler going defensive. Adams goes to the outside at turn 8. Let's see if anyone else is going to go off here. We have seen a couple of drivers go off. God, I tell you what, Ogven nearly went off yet again. Great battle there. In fact, he's actually pulled away from this battle now with 8th, because I think Connor's on the mediums, isn't he? I can't mind if he is. But anyway, Schauler to the inside then at 10. And has he got that position? Well, he's going to have the inside then for 12 and then into 13. Tries to shut the door in Heron's face, and he's got it. So 8th place now for Schauler. And now he's going to go up against the pit wall. And look at this, they're going to go 3 abreast now on the start-finish straight. And look at the power of the Scirocco and the Renault. They put down Heron down to last place. Now they're going to go 3 abreast again. Go on, Connor, make it 4 wide going into turn 1. Go 4 wide, Connor. Oh, you stupid idiot. Now then, 3 abreast then into turn 1. 3 to 1 will not go. And Adams comes out now in 8th position. Great racing here. Now the double file. It's like Noah's Ark here. 2 by 2 by 2 going into its turn 4. And now they're not all heading a little sideways there in the middle of 4. Now it's turn 5. The banked right-hander. And Schauler protecting that 8th place. Tell you what, they're 4 different teams there, but they're putting on a great show already in the first race. Meanwhile, back up at the front there, McEwen just casually driving on his own, being boring, leading a 3-second advantage, if you will. McIntosh there in 2nd, Clements holding on into 3rd position. Then you still got the 2 VXR racing teammates of Graham and Piper, 4th and 5th respectively. And then you got Thompson there all alone there in 6th position, although he is being caught there by the debutant Ollie, who has shown real good signs here. Ollie, let's ride on board then with the Synchro Motorsport driver. No Luke Clifford or no Richie Massey tonight, so he's the only one standing in for Synchro Motorsport here, and so far doing a thoroughly fine job. He may be 14 seconds off the leader, but he's doing a great job so far in that car. Now, meanwhile, back on board with this insane battle then for 8th place, as Schauler still holds on to it. Mitchell to the outside ahead and at turn 1. Now into 2, into 3, and then into quarter 4. And again, Mitchell gets a good drive there off of 3, has overlap on head into the inside. A little bit of, just a teensy bit of contact in the side door. Now into turn 5, again, still side by side into the banked. Mitchell goes high for better speed off the corner. Gets a good drive, though, in the middle of the corner now. Now onto the back stretch, and then he's going to... Oh, he's actually got an overlap, and will go to the inside here for turn 8. And that's another position change, so Mitchell qualified 4th. Not a good start, though. He fell back all the way down to about 9th and that. And then the incident with Adams at that corner there has pushed him down to last place. So he's trying to recover his way through the field as Mitchell, but... I think realistically the best he can get is possibly 8th place, because Ollie he's popped off. He's trying to catch up with Thompson just ahead. Let's see if he's caught up. Yeah, indeed he has. He's caught a hell of a lot up now. So let's ride on board then with Ogden, as he's going to get the toe off the MG Sport racing car of John Thompson, stand-in driver, and up into 6th position goes Ogden. Very impressive from the debutant. On to lap 9 out of 12, so we've got 4 laps to go now. Let's have a look at this battle then. Now it's still raging on for 8th place. It's Schauler leading, then it is Adams, then Mitchell, and then Heron, who gets it fully sideways off of turn 3. Now Mitchell to the inside of 4 on Adams. Is there contact? Don't think there was to be. Let's ride on board there. Schauler looks like he's starting to pull away from this battle now. So now you've got Honda racing on the outside. Team Halfords on the inside. Scirocco versus Honda. And Adams fully sideways in turn 8. Trying to put the handbrake on by the look of it. And it's going to cost him 2 positions. Oh, and just backs out of it there was Rob from Heron. Oh, Schauler's gone a little wide, so he's actually going to lose a ton of momentum here. Oh, dear me, everyone trying to get the same bit of tarmac there. Schauler just protecting the hold on. It would have held up Mitchell and Heron. And now again, we're going to go Noah's Ark, 2 by 2 possibly. No, we're not. Yes, we are now, because Adams is weaving left and right, trying to find the right bit of tarmac here. Look at this, Mitchell and Schauler bumping him. Barging, oh, Mitchell's off into the gravel yet again, like he was then back at lap 1 or 2, and that's the end of Mitchell's run there to get a decent finish somewhat. So now that battle was now down to 3, and it is Adams that's leads the way, then Heron, and then Schauler, and heading sideways there off at turn 4. That battle will not end. Let's have a look then at the VXR boys then. And Piper, there's been a change of position there. Piper and Graham have swapped positions yet again. So Piper's back into 4th. I think that's probably the right choice, considering that Piper and Clements, they're tied in the championship. So, you know, points matter now for the championship now, because this is the penultimate meeting. We do have one more race to go, and that is at Brands Hatch, the Grand Prix circuit. But anyway, we're on to the penultimate lap. It is still McEwen who's led from since lap 1, basically. McIntosh 2nd, 3rd is Clements, Piper and Graham side by side then for 4th and 5th now. Whatever you do, don't do the number 1 rule in their teammates, and that's bumping each other there. You don't want to make contact with your own teammate. What Graham actually, what Ethan was saying to me when I joined it. Oh, he gets into Piper. Now, I don't know if that was some lag. That might have been some lag, actually. Looking at that on my screen. possibly. Now, what Ethan was saying to me, that Ethan went off last week at Dragon Trail, and the reason why he went off was because of Piper, his own teammate, which we did see, but we didn't see like a few seconds earlier when we saw Ethan go off. So obviously there's no team orders in the VXR camp there, and Ethan really being aggressive on his teammate. I don't know if it's trying to make some sort of revenge at Dragon Trail with Piper going off, making contact with either of them who going off. So there's definitely no team orders in the VX racing camp. I just thought with Piper being more high up in the championship, Ethan would have gave a bit more leeway. But in fairness though, he was being more of a number 2 driver to Lewis Edwards for the previous 2 seasons. So go on Ethan, go on, stick your nose out there, punt him off. Tell you what, Ollie's actually catching up too. He's only 3 seconds back. He's not going to catch these 2 ahead. But I tell you what, Ollie's been incredibly impressive for a guy who's only just came into this lobby like 5 minutes before this stream actually started. Let's have a look then for the battle for 8th place then, and Hedden is now jumped out of this battle, so it's now whittled down to 2 of them, and it's Showler to the inside of Adam at turn 1, defending his spot, and just does. And there's Mitchell in the background, so we are on to the last lap, as the leader is on the back straightaway, and the gap now down to 2.2 seconds now. Clements must have made a mistake because he's fallen way down the pecking order. He's down to 4.2 away from McIntosh. We did see him, it was only about 6 tenths, so he must have made a mistake that unfortunately we didn't see. We were just concentrating on other battles. And they're nearly 10 seconds ahead of that battle with the 2 VXR boys, which they're still going side by side. And Ollie's gained nearly a second alone on this lap as Ethan fully sideways off of turn 9. But meanwhile, McEwen is going to win yet another race and bag more points in this championship, and he will extend the championship lead to, I believe, 40 points, I think that is. McIntosh get his 2nd place, Clements in 3rd. Who's going to go off on the line? It's going to be a photo finish between the 2 teammates. The gap is getting ever so decreasingly smaller, but it is Piper that just gets it. Then it's Graham. Ollie for a guy just making his debut there, 6th place, solid effort there. John Thompson gets 7th place. Who's going to get the battle for 8th place? It will be Showler. Adams will get 9th, Cotter Head in 10th, and Luke Mitchell, we did see go off at the end of the last lap there, gets 11th place and last place. But there you go, very interesting first race there, good racing throughout the field. And McEwen will now extend his championship lead to 40 points now over Chris Clements, that's now 2nd in the championship. As Clements will be on 162, Piper will be on 160. So there is how the official, well, unofficial results is. McEwen with yet another win. I've lost count of how many wins he's had now. McIntosh 2nd, Clements, Piper, Graham, Ogden, Thompson, Showler, Adams, Hedden, and Mitchell. That's the 11 that finished. I'm going to take my voice for a little bit of a break, and we'll see you again in like a few minutes for race 2 of the day. Well, I knew that was going to happen there when Luke was unghosted. No, I think what Luke is trying to do, he's trying to practice these starts, because I think we know from the start of the season that Renault is not good off the start. We did see how Luke qualified 4th on the grid and then fell back to the last. I think it's just, there's obviously a certain way how to perfect the start with this car. It's the quickest car of the lot. And what have you. So anyways, I just see there from Sharp Ash here saying that I need to change my PSN name. Yes, I know, I do need to. The thing is though, is I don't know how to. I really don't know how to. Like I've had like an Xbox 360, I had my name as usual. I've never had it changed ever. Never ever. So I need help with that actually. Right, anyway, so then to the points. I'm only going to do the points there because it's quite irrelevant from Shaula downwards. So at the moment, McEwen now leads the championship, like I said, by 40 points now, and it's Clements who's having his best run of, well, since, I think I want to say season 9 when he was driving the Mitsubishi, when he was with the Halfords team with Nicholas Cole and, who was the other one? Nathan Myers, I want to say it was him. So Clements is on 162, Piper on 160, McIntosh finished second, is on 152. By the way, he also got the fastest lap in that race, so he gets another championship points, but he's on 152. Ethan Graham on 134 and Shaula on 133. Now when it comes to tyre choices, does anyone go for the mediums on the second race? As we're looking down through the field, I know Mitchell has to. Yep, so he's set a so he's got no more tyres now for the mediums in race 2. And it looks like he's going to be the only one by the looks of it. Possibly. I'm not too sure about McEwen. He did say he might use mediums if he wins the race. I don't know. Ash there trying to give instructions there to Mitchell in the chat there. Maybe try TC on 1. TC meaning traction control to help with the initial pull away. See if that works. Oh no, he's just getting on with it. So it looks like to me that Mitchell was the only one on a set of mediums in this race. And there's a look then at Ogden now, just slowing down to meet up with his friend. As McEwen is going to start the final. Oh my God, Heron! Jesus, that was that we just saw a live suicide there, folks. Well, wow, Connor, dearie mate, that is disgraceful. Anyways, race 2 of the night. And it is the results that are based from race 1. So it will be McEwen, McIntosh, Clements, Piper, Graham, Ogden, Thompson, Shaula, Adams, Heron and Mitchell. Mitchell the only one on the medium tyre, so it's going to be a little bit of a tricky thing for Mitchell to do, as the other 10 of them are on the super softs. So we've got 1 red light, 2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights, pause, engines rise, lights out, and away we go then for the second race. Again, the smoke tyres there from the Scirocco and the Renault there, as always. And again, look at Piper, going to go around the outside then, going in towards turn 1. Piper going all over on the curb there, making his way in towards turn 1. But look at Clements there, diving on the inside, outside of McEwen. He's got the inside for turn 2, but McEwen will have the inside for turn 3, and it will just barely hold on to it. And look at Graham there, he's going to make it free abreast and put McIntosh the middle of a VX sandwich there, but not going to happen there. In fact, McIntosh has gone up into second, but he's on the outside of Clements. Let's have a look further back then through the field there. Mitchell still running in last position, and already there's a gap developing with 6th down to 7th, which is Shaula, and Ogden has gone way down the pecking order too. Now then, meanwhile, looks like Thompson's... Oh my god, look at McIntosh really late there into turn 8 and caught Clements out there massively. And that's second place again for McIntosh. Clements there getting a couple of wheels onto the gravel trap. You saw the stones fly off there going into its turn 9. He's going to compromise third place now to Piper. So Piper and Clements are having a real scrap for second place in the championship. And I think he was under a lot of pressure there as well from Graham, and he's put Clements down to 5th. So that mistake that Clements done at turn 9 has cost him 2 places, and one of them was this championship protagonist Piper for 2nd spot. Now then, I see the Schauler on the outside there, Thompson on the inside, and you got Connor Hedden there making 2 places in 1. So great move there from Connor Hedden, although he might lose that to Thompson. Meanwhile, there is Ogden, and we are missing Mitchell yet again. Mitchell, has he made another mistake? Because he's 4 seconds adrift. So, tell you what, since Mitchell's made this in the BTCC, it's really been a baptism of fire for him. It really, really has. And I feel sorry for him because he is a quick driver. More dust being kicked up there from Hedden there. You saw the stones fly up as we were on board with Ogden. Making his way on towards the backstretch. They go yet again. Now in towards 8, an important corner there. Corner again, kicking up the gravel with the rear left tyre. Now into 9, clipping a little bit of the curb, starting to lose a little bit of ground now is Ollie. And shortcutting 13 like it was leaving there, so there you are. It's right there. Let's go and see from McIntosh. We ride on board with the back of the Petronas Citrium liveried Proton of McIntosh, and you got the BMWs there of Piper, Graham and Clements there. Schauler's up into 6th place after qualifying in 8th from the results from race 1. Adams up in 7th, Thompson down to 8th. Meanwhile, they're like 3 abreast there by the looks of it. Let's ride on board with the back then of Clements there, because you saw Thompson, Adams and Schauler being 3 abreast then going in with turn 5. Schauler just holding on. Adams did lose a spot though in the process. Let's ride on board then with Adams there. He's all over the back of Thompson in towards turn number 8. He's got Connor Hedden closing up there, half a second. Oh, in fact, Ogden's made a move, and in fact, Connor may have got pushed off. Now, was that because of the incident practice? Let's see. Well, he to be fair, in fairness to Ollie, he was legitimately there. Let's see it. Yeah, he had enough of a long side to be beside Connor, and yeah, I think it was a bit of a recent deal. Ollie was legitimately there. Connor never gave him a teensy amount of room, but there you go. And now Ollie's catching up to the back of Thompson. Don't forget, these two were battling for 6th place one time, which Ollie passed Thompson on the start finish straight at turn 1. In fact, Rob has gone back up into 7th. He's past Thompson. Getting a little wide there off of 4. Let's have a look then at this battle then. It's a 4-car scrap then for 2nd place, and it is the Mazdas 1 and 2, but it's a BMW 3, 4 and 5, and Piper gets it wrong off the exit of turn 8. Now, is that going to compromise him going into turn 9? No, he just holds on just about. But I mean, this is a big key for the championship, because you've got Piper and Clements now. They're only 2 points separating the pair of them. Oh, Piper had a bit of a scrappy last sector there, but what is Graham going to do? Is he going to protect Ethan for 2nd place in the championship? What's going to be the deal? I'll tell you what, for the team's championship, it's going to be unbelievably close here between the top 3 of VX Racing, not Collard Racing, sorry, Proton the Petronas Citroen Proton and MG Sport. It's going to be super, super close when we're coming into the finale at Brands Hatch next week. Hopefully Dax will be there. He's actually messaged in the chat there too. So yeah, Dax, I hope you're there. I want you back next week because my throat's nearly going at the end of the second race here, or halfway through. Anyways, Clements. Oh, there, Graham being a little bit aggressive there, trying to hold on to that 4th place, and just does. Oh, Piper gets it wrong again at turn 8. That's 2 laps in a row there that Piper got that completely sideways. But how on earth he still holds on to that 3rd place beyond me. But this time Graham's got an overlap then into turn, that is 11, I believe that is. Oh, and again the VXR boys making contact with each other. And now Piper, just like Clements did on the first lap when he kicked up 2 wheels at turn 9, he lost 2 places. And now Piper lost 2 places because of that mistake on the exit to turn 8. And now Clements, oh, he's just left the inside open for Piper to go straight back through. We know what Piper's like. He is the torpedo for a reason. Now he's going to go to the outside. BMW 3 abreast. Oh, Piper really late on the brakes and they're bumping and barging and what have you. And now Schauler wants a piece of this now. I just looking back on the stream there, I did see that Piper put a couple of wheels on the gravel track when he braked, and that's when he turned sharp right into Clements there. Not of his fault though. Oh my god, I tell you what, Clements is really shoving the back of Graham. This battle for 3rd place there for the bottom step of the podium is just heated up, and Schauler, he's just taking, okay then if he's 2 battling, I'm just going to go by. He's done that now. Opportunistic from Schauler. He's up to 4th now. And Clements wants it back. Late on the brakes at turn 9. Schauler just seems to move. Now gets into the side of Schauler. Now Piper wants this 4th spot now. Graham is probably going to drive away, I think. Now has Piper got an overlap then on Clements? No, he doesn't. It's hard racing, but it's fair racing. And if they're not going to be careful, Thompson in 7th place is going to... He's catching. He's catching. Then you've got Ollie in 8th, and then you've got Rob Adams in 9th. So we're missing Heron and Mitchell 10th and 11th. And now Piper going to the outside, trying to get maybe a side draft on Clements there on the over the brow of the hill. And now late into turn 1. Oh, Piper really late on the brakes. He's got an overlap at turn 2. Clements gives him the room. And then Piper gives him the room for Clements for turn 3. Now watch out for Schauler. Will he dive late? No, he's going to stick him behind. And again, Clements shutting the door on Piper. And now Schauler's side by side with Piper going in towards turn 5. That bank right-handed there. And this is, I tell you what, this is some good, clean racing this year from the 3 of them now. It was a little bit messy a lap ago, but it looks a little bit cleaner now. Now Piper trying to go into the inside there. Clements there trying to use all of the racetrack going into his turn 8. Piper now to the inside and shoves Clements off. Well, I did say it was clean racing until Piper did that. And I tell you what, Clements will not be too happy with that, because that's put him all the way down into 8th position. And he's lost his momentum there too, because he's just put 2 wheels on the grass on there, turn 10. So Clements there, oh, he's shortcutting turn 13. So that's big complications then for the championship now for 2nd place, because now McEwen has gone away, and he's going to fully extend that gap a lot now, with Piper sitting 4th and Clements down in 8th spot. But don't forget, race 3 is a reverse grid. I actually have to have a look to see if... any of them are on the medium tyres. I just want to see, just in case if it was Mitchell that was the only one on mediums. Meanwhile, Schauler to the inside of Piper, and that's 4th place now for Schauler. Adams is down to 10th, so Adams, obviously we did see him battling up at the front. Yellow flag being waved there, so someone has gone off. Let's have a look. Who could it be? There was yellow flags. Oh, and it's Graham! Graham has made another mistake! Oh no, Ethan, what have you done? he just lost it at turn 5. He just lost it at turn 5, and that's a hard scrap against the wall. Oh, that is a disaster for Ethan, because he had third place in the bag. He needed a good run there because he had the chance to go second in the championship, and that's now gone up in smoke. And that's the problem with Graham. We've seen that from time to time. He, like I said, with Mitchell, fast driver, but he does tend to make those mistakes. More yellow flags have been waved. Someone has been spinning, and that must have been Hedden. Yeah, Hedden's had a moment on this lap as well. So let's have a look there. Oh, hello, and there's a tank slap for you. Full 360, well held too. A tank slapper to a 360. That was very impressive there from Connor Hedden. But going back to what I was saying about Ethan Graham, he's a front-running driver for sure, but we've seen this time and time again when Graham makes these little bit of mistakes. Like we did see a lot of it last season when he was with Motorbase, and again at what was it, Kyoto. You know, he in race 3 made a tremendous recovery drive after making a mistake. I think it was on the first or second lap, and he worked his way out through the field extremely well before binning it at the chicane later on in the race. So he is prone to be doing these mistakes. He just needs to eradicate all that, and then he'll be, you know, definitely a championship contender. But I mean, I feel for Ethan because he's tried his hardest, but there's sometimes you can go over the boundary just a bit too hard, and that's what Ethan does from time to time. Maybe it could be a ploy. Maybe it could be a ploy that he spins there because he will start higher up then in the reverse grid. Maybe he's doing that. Maybe. Because he's already used the medium tyres because he used it in race 1. Maybe that was a plan. Anyway, we've got 3 laps to go then, and now McEwen's gap now 2.5 seconds over McIntosh, who's in second. We've still got this battle going on for third place, and look at Ollie. Look at this guy, 5th position, and he's hunting down for a podium. He's hunting down Schauler and Piper for a potential podium spot in your 2nd ever race in the BTCC. Let's ride on board then with Ogven, seeing this battle up front with Piper and Schauler unfold. So into turn 8, Schauler's back to 3rd. Got 5 people watching here. Don't forget, give this race a thumbs up, guys. This could be a quite interesting finish there. Schauler putting a little bit of a block on Piper. Oh, hello, sir. Look at the run that Ogven's getting then. Gets into the bump there. Gets into the back of Piper. Now we've got a 3-car scrap now for 3rd place for the bottom step of the podium. And look at Clements. He's only 1.1 seconds back. And I tell you what, Clements will not be still happy what happened, what he did, what Piper did to him there. God, words fail me then. Right then again, late onto the brakes then at turn 1 as Schauler he's just managed to stick that Mazda just in there. Piper trying to get an overlap then on the exit of turn 2. Now into turn 3, Piper's got the inside, but you'll still have it though for turn 4. And I tell you what, Ogven has got the best seat of the house there, so back into 3rd now goes Piper. Schauler down. You know, potentially these two are battling for 2nd place in the championship as I go talking about it as well. Schauler's on 133, Piper's on 160. There's 27 points between them. And I mean, you got Clements there back in 6th place. He's on 162, so he's trying to gain more points. And I tell you what, Clements is really there. Oh, and Ogden gets into the back of Piper. Fully sideways there was Piper. Right into to Schauler, which was nothing that he could have done there. Now it's a 4-car battle, potentially a 5-car scrap because Thompson's catching 2. Oh, wow, Clements fully sideways again there off a turn 11 that was there, but look at this 7-car scrap at 5-car scrap for 3rd place as one to the last lap, and Clements getting by Schauler. That's 5th position. Ollie is up into 4th spot and he's got podium right in his sights and he's catching up with Piper. Now then they're going into towards turn 1. Piper's going to go defensive. No, goes to the inside, and Ollie Ogven, the Norwegian, in his debut, his 2nd ever race in the touring cars, can sniff a podium here. But watch out for Clements. Does he want to seek some sort of revenge? No, he's going to go free abreast. Free abreast and going into his 10-4. And Clements retakes that third spot. Fantastic racing there from Clements. Goodness me, I had the spits on the screen after when I was doing that there. But Clements there. Oh, wow, there's a bump there from Ogden. You know, that's the way you say, hello, I'm a newbie. Welcome to the BTCC, Mr. Ogden. But Clements is back into third place after being punted off. Went down to 8th spot. Now this time he's going to protect it, but what is Ogden going to do? Is he don't get into the back of Clements? No, he doesn't. And now Clements is back into third position. What a drive this has been for Clements there. He saw the demise of what happened there with Ethan Graham. Meanwhile, on the course of start-finish straight here, McEwen's going to get his second win of the season, second win of the night. Sorry, I think that might be his fourth. But there is McIntosh to come across the line in second place. And now this battle going on for third place, and it's going to be Clements. What a performance that is from Chris Clements. Gets third place, Piper gets fourth, Thompson gets fifth, and Ogden, after all that hard work, finishes in 8th place. Quite undeserved, really. Ethan Graham 9th, Connor Heron gets 10th, and Mitchell in 11th. But boy, oh boy, what a battle for third place that was there. And I feel quite sorry there for Ogden because he didn't deserve to finish 8th. Oh, but too late there. I don't know if he had a bit of help there from Piper, but there you go. What a battle that was for third place. And they were 14 seconds behind McIntosh too. So second win of the night there for McEwen. I think it's his 4th, maybe 5th win of the season. And again, fully extends his championship lead even more. So there was the, we'll have a look at the unofficial results. McEwen wins again, McIntosh second again, Clements third again, then Piper 4th again, I think. No, he was 5th in the first race, sorry. Then Thompson, then Schauler, Adams, Ogden. I feel sorry for Ogden because he didn't deserve 8th place there. Ethan Graham 9th, Connor Head in 10th, Mitchell in 11th place. So I'm going to take another break and we'll see you for the final race of the night. Sorry, I'm just Ollie Polly saying, is this streamed? Yes, it is. Yep. You know, I think people will say the chat has been Ollie's quite chuffed there. Ollie's very chuffed there that he's actually happy that he's actually been streamed. So there you go. I've done the championship points in so far. I've only done like the top 6 from McEwen down to Shaula Graham, because like the ones down below are quite irrelevant because they're not battling for the championship really. But as it stands right now, McEwen's lead is now 56 points. Now by my calculations, if McEwen can finish, or wins the race, and if Clements and Piper finish, say 6th on back, then that's championship over already, with 3 races to spare. It's a bit loud there. Now Adams is in the Proton, he should be in the Halfords car. Now what's going on here? But anyway, like I was saying, if McEwen was to win the last race, what's Adams doing? Should be not. I'm guessing he's missing the Mazda, isn't he? He's missing the car from last week. He doesn't like the Scirocco, eh? He really doesn't like it. Oh, I think he's changed. Oopsies. Anyways, so like I was saying, there's Adams. He's back in his car. So, as I was saying, McEwen, if he was to win the race, and if Clements finishes 6th or lower, and Pipe also finishes lower, then that's the championship won already, with a round to spare at Brands Hatch, the Grand Prix circuit, because McEwen's on 223. He has 56 points ahead of Chris Clements in second in 177 of that brilliant drive back in race 2. Piper on 173, McIntosh on 169, Shaula on 143, and Ethan on 141. They're not out of it though to get second place in the championship. McEwen is, let's be fair, McEwen is long gone, but realistically it's the battle for second place in the championship between Clements, Piper and McIntosh. Depending on how Shaula and Graham will do in this race, they could also be a factor coming into this last race, but obviously the last race will be a reverse grid order. As far as I know, Ogden is on the mediums as well as Clements and the leader McEwen. McIntosh also going for a set of mediums. Connor on set on soft. So there is Mitchell again, still trying to practice the starts. But here we go then, the last race here. Championship could be decided here after this race if McEwen goes on to win. It'll be an impossible job since he's on the medium tyres, but we'll never know. We will never know when we come into the last round of this streamed event tonight, and it is a reverse grid. So Mitchell will lead the way. He'll be last going into his turn 1. Conor Head in second, Even Graham third, Ogden fourth, Adams, Shaula, Thompson, Piper, Clements, McIntosh and McEwen. That is your 11 grid cars in the field. Answers on a postcard. Where do you think Mitchell will be going into his turn 1 with that poorly started Renault car? 5 red lights are on, the lights will go off and the green lights will go on right now, and away we go again. A little bit of smoke of tyres, and into the lead already goes Heron. Mitchell down to third, possibly going to hold on to third place actually, but Heron is taking the lead. Graham second, Mitchell actually holds on to third. Fair play there to Mitchell. Here comes Charlotte to the inside, 3 abreast there, nearly 4 abreast there, and they're still bumping and barging here through turn 1, 3 abreast there. That sort of worked, the two there in favour of Piper, and oh god, that's a mess. That's a real mess. Oh my goodness me. We need to ride on board with someone, on board with McIntosh, and you can see that absolute mess there, making her way into its turn 4, now into its turn 5, sort of spreads out a little bit. Noah's Ark again, 2x2x2x2, and that's a V8. That'll be Piper again into the side there of Thompson. Thompson nearly losing it there on the exit of turn 5, nearly gets into Adams in the process. But it is Heron in the lead, but he's under a lot of pressure there from Graham, who's trying to recover from that second race mishap there from third. Look at Piper trying to make a move on the inside of, that would be Mitchell. That would be Schauler up into third spot now. So Mitchell went from first to fourth, not too bad. And you can see Thompson down there in 11th place and last place and just moving out of the race. So here we go then. Heron still leads as they come to complete the first lap in towards the last two corners, 12 and 13. And it is Heron from Graham, from Schauler, from Mitchell, from Piper, who looks like he's having a look on the inside of Mitchell, but that Renault will be far more superior than the BMW down the streets. Ogden in 6th position and on a set of mediums, as well as Adams, who's bump drafting the Synchro Motorsport driver then into towards turn 1, and it looks like we're all nice and tidy. In fact, Piper's gone through, so Piper's gone ahead of Mitchell. Meanwhile, championship leader McEwen there in 8th place. He's got McEwen, who's second in the championship, just ahead on lap 2 out of 12. So we are 1 6th race distance there. Clements fully sideways again off a 4. And that's a position gained there for McEwen. Up to 8th place now. He can win the championship. He finishes like 10 points ahead of Clements. At the moment, he's sitting 8th and Clements in 9th. So it will go down to a last round at Brands Hatch. But he's got to start improving. Meanwhile, Ethan Graham has gone into the lead. I'm looking at the back then of Graham. Now let's see what Graham can do. Can he hold on to the lead? Don't mess up now, Ethan. Do not mess this lead up. Again, up against the pit wall goes the lead there. Now he'll weave left and right, trying to break the toe. Start another lap. Lap 3 out of 12. Looks like there was a position change. Looks like that will be Adams on Ogden. And that is a change for 6th. Rob on the softs. Ogden on the medium tyres. That's because Clifford, who did race in that. Oh, and of course McIntosh went a little bit off, then nearly gets into Thompson when he came back on the track. So that was a nearly bit of a dangerous comeback on the track there. And look at Piper all over the back there of his former teammate Schauler. He's trying to board then with Piper, making his way towards turn 5. Have a lap further back. Then you see then Mitchell just holding on to 5th position. Ogden trying to hold on to 8th place there, because that would be Clements there. He's trying to defend there. McEwen up to 7th. He's got Adams just ahead. That's possibly the best that maybe McEwen can do, because these drivers are all on softs. Now it was 12 and 13. Schauler shortcut in turn 13. That's not the first time that's happened. Battle going on then for 5th place then. Mitchell on the inside then, just holding on to that 5th spot on Adams. Meanwhile, further back through the field there, looks like Clements has found a way by Ogden, so that will put Ogden down to 9th, Thompson in 10th, and in 11th place is McIntosh, who had that incident a lap ago. So McEwen is sitting 7th in the race. 7th will give him 9 points. That will put him on to 232. Clements is in 8th place. That will give him 8 points. That will put him on 185. So McEwen cannot win the championship on this run if he stays where it is, as Adams has got that 5th spot now on Mitchell, and he's got it done. And it looks like Mitchell had a slow speed off of turn 8 now, and he's going to feel the wrath now of McEwen. But I'll tell you what, the top 4 are nose together, 1.3 seconds from 1st to 4th. And this is what Graham and Shaula needs, because they've drifted away from the battle from second in the championship, because Shaula on 143, Graham on 141. It's a must drive, it's a must-win performance for both of these drivers now. Now we're going to go 3 abreast, put Heading in the middle. Who's going to be late on the brakes going into turn 1? It's going to be Shaula that's going to get second spot. Adams starting to catch up there in 5th, but now Piper to the inside of Heading at turn 4, and he's got 3rd spot now. Now I don't know if there was a little bit of contact, because Heading did one extremely wide in turn 4, so there may have been a little bit of contact. Let's see if we can see a replay of it. Let's ride on board with Piper. So this is turn 3, or did Connor just outbrake himself? Let's find out. Yeah, that was a bit of a late braking from Piper, really. Got into Shaula. Yeah, so... bit iffy there, but still, 3rd place. It's right then with McEwen. I think that's a very rare thing to see, that McEwen has got cars in front of him, as he's got Mitchell just ahead. Clements still in 8th spot. Let's ride on board then with the guy that is 2nd in the championship. Oh, and what's happened now? Shaula is down to 4th place. We did see him in 2nd spot. What did he do? He must have lost it, did he? It must be 12 and 13. Let's have a look. Let's ride then with Piper. Oh, he just turned in way too early and clips the wall. That's a bit of a rookie mistake there from Shaula to make that. In fact, he's down to 5th because Adams has found a way by 2. So it's a VX Racing 1-2. And this will really help for the Teams Championship as well. Again, the Teams Championship all important too, because that is very close before the race actually started. VX Racing, MG Sport Racing and Petronas Citrium Proton are all very close together in the Teams Championship. But it's going to be a good day, well, good race here so far for VX Racing, because their drivers are 1 and 2, with Graham and Piper leading the way. Then you got Heading in 3rd, who's sideways. Looks like there was a bit of oversteer at turn 8. And I tell you what, Adams in the Scirocco, I think he's getting the hang of it now, because he's battling for a podium spot here. Halfway through this race, we're going to be starting the 2nd half of the race now, in the last race of the day. And now McEwen all over the back of Mitchell, making their way towards the last 2 corners, and then onto the straightaway they go again. Now you've got McIntosh up into 8th position. What's happened to Clements? Clements is down into 10th. We did see him in 8th position. He got forced out a little bit wide there from McIntosh, and Thompson went through there too. Fully on sideways that was there on the last corner there too. Meanwhile, Mitchell's still holding on for this battle for 6th place now, but you've got McIntosh and Thompson now into the mix, as McEwen just can't find a way by Mitchell, because that McGann is just so quick down the straightaways. Now what can Thompson do, because he could be a factor also in this race, as McEwen goes late on the brakes. I think McIntosh was even later by the looks of it. Now McEwen doesn't really need to fight with McIntosh, because McIntosh is nowhere near in the championship. Albeit he's 4th, but 169 points at the moment. Fast lap then to Rob Adams, not for long now. I was going to say Rob Adams had the fast lap, but no, Ethan Graham just takes it. As we're going to be starting lap 8 now, so 2/3 of the race now is going to be completed. As I thought Adams was having a look on the outside of Heading for 3rd spot. Now then Mitchell runs a little wide there off of 2. Now is that giving McEwen an opportunity to get 6th place? And what can McIntosh do, and what can Thompson do? Late onto the brakes, missed the apex there with McEwen. That will shove Mitchell a little bit out wide, and down to 9th he goes. And that's now McEwen up to P6, McIntosh in 7th, Thompson into 8th. And that'll put Mitchell down to 9th. Although McIntosh gets it sideways off at turn 5. That's going to allow McEwen's teammate Thompson to make a run on the outside. Probably get a bit of slip from McEwen. And that might be another position change now. But watch out for Mitchell. Mitchell in the Honda racing car. Gets 2 places in one, and McEwen one's a little bit wide. Now they're 3 abreast going towards turn 9. And Thompson gets out there alive in 7th. But watch out for Clements. He's going to go make a 3 abreast then at turn 11, sorry, that is. No, he doesn't. Look at this, nose-to-tail racing there. McEwen shortcut in turn 13. They should have a penalty thing here. They really should. Anyway, Mitchell. Watch the power. Watch the power. Let's ride on board then with Thompson. Look at the speed of that Renault. It is like an absolute bullet. Thompson go back to the inside then at turn 1 and gets it back. So Thompson wasn't really phased with the speed of the Renault because he just got by. In all this battle, it's going to allow McEwen to pull away. Now let's see what Ollie can do further back there. You see him just all alone there, down in 11th place. He is on those medium tyres, but he is slowly catching up with this battle. 3 abreast though, going into his turn 5, and Clements is going to go through the middle of it maybe, as Adams has just gone into 3rd place on Hedden, going into what's turn number 8, but Hedden doesn't want to give it up without a fight and pushes Adams off at turn number 8. Just like what we've seen there with Piper did to Clements in race 2, it was just a carbon copy. And I tell you what, Rob will not be too happy about that. But that's the risk though. Oh, meanwhile, Thompson is down to 11th. Oh, he just got into Clements, didn't he? And then into the gravel trap, just like Rob Adams did. But Rob had some help. I think Thompson just ran out a bit wide there. So unfortunately for Thompson. And all the more that's allowed Ogden to go up into 9th. Well, we did say 9th because now Clements has found a way by again. So Clements is now in 9th. Ogden down to 10th, and Thompson trying to recover there from the moment that he had. 3 more laps to go until the end of the meeting, and it is still VX Racing 1 and 2. Schauler in 3rd, Head in 4th, Adams 5th, McEwen is in 6th, 7th is Mitchell, 8th place is McIntosh, 9th is Clements. As it stands, that is 3 points gained more, so McEwen would be on 233. Clements would be on... Where's Clements? He's in 9th position. Clements would be on 184, which will be 59 points of difference. Piper in 2nd. That will put him on 190. So it'll be 43 points, I believe the gap will be. 43 points the gap will be, yeah. So if Piper... Oh no, where's Piper? Piper's down to 4th. Talk of the devil, he's down in 4th spot. And he had a moment at turn 8, that's what happened. So Piper's had a moment at turn 4. Turn 8, my apologies. And that's put him down to 4th place. So scrap that. That'll put him on 186 points now. He'll still be 2nd in the championship. But he's just lost critical points though for it. Anyway, 2 more laps to go. Graham leads. Schauler now 2nd, and it's them two that were 5th and 6th for the championship. They want to make a fight of it if they want to get closer to being battling for 2nd in the championship, along with Piper, with Clements, and with McIntosh. That's what they're doing. They're 1 and 2. Hedden will get 3rd position if he stays where he is, barring if he doesn't make a mistake. But also, like with Graham, we have seen Connor do some mistakes from time to time. Which I think he nearly did there. He put on a couple of wheels on the gravel, and now he could be under a bit of pressure now with Piper, who's actually battling with Adams for 4th and 5th respectively. There's a look then at Mitchell holding on to 7th place. 8th place is McIntosh. Clements in 9th. And now you've got Thompson there trying to get by Ogden for 10th. Thompson trying to go around the outside there of Ogden, and he's made it stick there. Nice pass there from Thompson. Around the outside at turn 11. That's a place you don't see very often happening, especially around the outside. But anyway, on to the last lap of the race. It's been a perfect drive this time for Ethan Graham. He didn't put a foot wrong. Don't need the commentator's curse on him. But he's got a 6.5 second lead over Schauler, who has got a 1.6 second advantage over Connor Heron. And then it's the Sparrow now for 4th place. Is Adams going to upset the party in the Piper camp? A few more corners to go. Turn 8 could be the place for Adams to make a move. Let's ride on board then with Adams as it's the last few laps now. Well, last lap now. Look at the run that Adams is getting. Look at the run that Scirocco's getting. And into turn 8. Piper trying to squeeze Adams, then going into his turn 8, and that's 4th place. Although Piper's gone for the cutback, he's gone for the crisscross. Has he made it stick though? Adams on the inside, Piper on the outside. Can he make it stick? Can he do it? Oh, it's got to be nip and tuck there, side by side. But has he done it? Still going to be side by side. Adams gives him the racing room. Piper shoving him in the door. Meanwhile, Graham gets his win, so congratulations to him. Schauler will get 2nd spot, 3rd will go to Connor Heron, and Rob Adams will hold on for 4th place then. Piper will be down to 5th. McEwen, 6th position, and pretty much championship nearly guaranteed for McEwen. He'll be nearly a 2-time championship champion come Brands Hatch next week. Mitchell will get 7th. 8th will be McIntosh. Chris Clements will get 9th. 10th for Thompson. And we wait for Ogden to cross the line in 11th place. But he's still been very impressive in his debut in this championship. So there you go. That is the end of that race. And massive congratulations then to Ethan after the disappointment in race 2, winning it when he was in 3rd place. He redeems himself and gets a win. So good job to him there. And there you go. That has been it for the FTR BTCC Season 13. Rounds 13, 14 and 15. McEwen has pretty much got one hand on his 2nd championship. It's just a case of him not binning it now. But there you go. That has been it. And but we'll leave it at that there because my throat is nearly going. So until then, we'll see you again for the title decider at Brands Hatch. Hopefully, Daxy's going to be with me in the booth. And yeah, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.